show everybody that I can go. That is that, you know what I mean. My name is Matt and I'm a bit mad. They say I don't wanna spray any kind of bad lyrics, so I'm just gonna keep on rocking the same thing that I'm locking like my door, cause I ignore all the calls, even though I feel that the things in my mind wanna rewind to the last time I saw her. You know what I mean. I don't wanna get back on the scene. You know what I mean. Every time I do dream, when I wake up, I feel like I am tossing and turning, and then constantly learning that no one is gonna be disappearing right near me. You know what I mean. It feels like a disappearing act every time I react to the same old thing. It's like my mind is on fire, but it's the burning desire inside. I don't wanna hide my feelings no more. I just wanna open up the door and go out, but when I shout my head off, I feel like I'm really gonna cough inside. You know what I mean. Like I have a vision that is wide, but every time that I'm tired, I feel like I am mentally wired, you know. Yeah, I didn't know there was another outro, but that's the end of this show for me for today. That could be the end, and I'm not gonna pretend that I like the fact, but that is how I react. Yo, no more breaks, no more parties. I'm just taking them medications like Smarties, you know. Every time I think my mind goes slow, but my body moves fast, even though I know it is quarter past the time that I'm supposed to make a decent rhyme. But I feel like I can get it on time, even though I see the signs of all these different cultures. And every time I try to get sculptures in my pen, I really forget it, and I wonder when I went back to the clock ticking down like Big Ben. But it's a universal language, you know what I mean. I'm not gonna dream no more, I'm just gonna seek there, you know what I mean. I'm just feeling, oh yeah, again and again. I don't really wanna grip a pen, but every time I think about it, I feel like I'm gonna choke. You know it's no joke when you have got that writer's block, but I've written so many bars down and I've never locked them out of the thing and the pain in my pen. I don't wanna remember the days of December when I was completely ill, and then they put me on the pharmaceutical pills. Yeah, it was making me mentally ill, even though I was going so slow. And then I finally let go, no kind of way other than today or now. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't live in the present, you know it's not relevant, and it makes you disappear in fear. And then you think everything that is near is really far, and you have to remember that first scar on your arm, even though not everyone has self-harms. I have, you know what I mean, cause I was living in a dream. I didn't want to remember that way back when I wanted to play every Sunday thing in my earbuds, you know what I mean. I just wanted to keep on rocking, keep on popping those cheap things that I was gonna say, but at the end of the day I'm not promoting it, you know. Every time I used to play Uno with my family, it meant me I didn't want to go back into the pen. But if you remember those days back in the ways we used to be, and that is a certainty that my family is meant to be in my life still, even though I haven't got a wife You know, I don't really care at the minute, 'cause my life is not the best. Understand, I know that I need to think about what I say before I spray it. You know, the same old things, the advertisers making everyone despise each other because they haven't got what the other person has. But that was just how I used to react. But now I wear plain clothes, and now everybody thinks that I ain't one of the bros, 'cause I'm not wearing all the designer labels. But who really cares? It's just the way and the wares, and how you want to prepare to the next song before you belong to the present second. Don't think about it, scream and shout it. Even if you want a roller snout, forget about it. You know, I just wanna let this flow, get the pressure off my chest. Even though I try to digest the food that I really eat. You know what I'm saying? I don't wanna compete. Back to the record every time. I want to get to a different time and space, but every time I look everyone in the face, that's why I look down when I walk. But sometimes I feel like I can dropped off like the stalk in some sort of rhyme. Every time I think about life, you gotta think about death as well. 'Cause I feel like I'm under some sort of hypnotic spell. Can you get it? You know what I mean? I regret it. Everything I used to say when I didn't want to pay or deliver. You know what I mean? The river is rock flowing. Oh, I messed it up, and I'm knowing that everyone can see that I have been down and out so many times. That's why I think of these dark rhymes. But every minute that passes by, I remember wanting to get high. But no way, I'm not going back to that ever again. Even though I tried writing my thoughts down with a pen, but music therapy is the way to do it. No one is gonna pursue it unless they have a real dream. That is how it seems, but everybody has a different type of way that they wanna spray. I'll keep on going till I drop today. The beginning of the end, and now I pretend that I didn't just have a toke on a nicotine vape. Now my mind is moving like a hungry ape in the jungle. You know what I mean? I feel I'm in trouble already. I remember when I was laying down in the street, everyone wanted to kick me in the face, but not everyone. Some of them wanted to help. You know what I mean? I did feel the cold pavement on my feet. You know what I mean? That one was deep, because I got released from a cell and they didn't even help me out with some shoes, rubber on my feet, and I just walked around on the street with the rubber, not the rubber, the foam I remember the minute I lost, but I remember Bones was sitting at the top of the block. Oh, it's a shock to me, 'cause if you remember me, thank you, my G. Yeah, I still remember you give a jacket to me, and my blood was completely all over my shirt, 'cause the police slammed my head on the floor, and I had to go to hospital, and they stitched me up, and I didn't give a fuck. I was kicking off, and I finally coughed up. You know what I mean? I wanted to live a different kind of dream, even though it wasn't what it seemed. And he said to me, "That are you alright, my G?" I can't remember completely, but I said, "Do you want something to eat?" 'Cause I had a bit of change that the deranged police gave me. You know how it seems to be, but I just bought them a sandwich, and I said, "Shall we go to the bank? We might as well thank the DW system that used to pay me." But now I'm just laying these bars down from my mind. It doesn't really matter if I find you again. I just wanted to thank you, Bones, my man. You know you who you are. I remember you called me a dark horse when I saw you in jail. I was walking around like a snail, 'cause I was underfed but overweight, and you said, "Are you alright, my mate?" Can you relate?
The systems may be all right, but they are in the wrong hands, because we are all, in various ways, self-seeking, unwilling really to cooperate with others, unwilling to be open to others. And we all think that's too bad. It's me that's wrong. And if only I could be the right person. Is this man going to tell me something that will help me to change myself, so that I will be a more creative and cooperative member of the human race?
Yeah. Alan Watts right there. I remember a lot of things he has said. Problems don't exist. That's one of his videos I remember watching. You know, I bring knowledge to people, even though I'm a person just like you, trying to pursue the knowledge that everybody seems to have, but everybody acts like no one wants to get the real questions and the life lessons. I am testing my own self on the mic. I might as well say it a bit right instead of saying good night, 'cause this is a continuous slow beat. I hope you're nodding your head and tapping your feet, 'cause I'm never gonna compete with anyone on the microphone, 'cause I feel like I have been cloned on some sort of system. They say that they want to take my blood and put me in the mud in the end. I'm not trying to pretend that mortality ain't real. You know how it feel that eventually everyone we know, and you know, everyone has to remember this song. It belongs in a place at the end of the pretend scene. You know, it's like a dream, 'cause if you wake up too early, you know what it is. It's not a certainty. Everyone has a clarity, better view of different ways to live. I remember trying to forgive everybody and everything that didn't happen. It was reacting to a different place in the space, 'cause every time I get on the chase, you know what I mean, the dragon and the scene. But I'm never going back to that, even though I do relapse time to it for a while, you know what I mean. Even when I was acting so keen, I walked round with a smile on my face, and everybody wanna chase it with me, and everyone had the certainty. It was like electricity for a while, but then it drained my smile back to the middle and the end. I'm not trying to pretend it's not a serious subject, even though you neglect and don't respect the law. I'm talking about myself when I was on it. My brain was craving a chronic, and I knew it's a gateway drug, 'cause I know I'm not a thug. Deep down at heart, I just wanted to fall apart, and wanted to be apart from our reality, even though the clarity I did have when I was clean for the dream. You know how it was, the scene. Everybody wanted to stop me, but everybody wanted to pop me at the same time. Yo, for committing so many crimes, I remember all the times that I wanted to stop it, but I knew it was something that would take persistence and resistance to the system. That's why I listen to the bass and the rhythm, even though I'm never gonna stop, even till the bars don't drop no more. Yeah, 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 yeah. 'Cause when the sun time is rhyming, everyone is shining for a while, then they are whining that it's too hot. But when the snow comes, they wanna say stop, and you gotta go in. You know how, begin again, back in the pen, round and round again. Even though I was writing with a pen way back then, and I didn't know that it was off the top of my head, but I wanted to focus on the real style, you know. But that was the same slow thing that was in my eyes, and I didn't want to say that I was saying those sighs, but I wanted to be like every other guy, and I wanted to supply the soul system, you know what I mean. I listened to the wisdom of everyone else, but never expressed myself on the same old page. I wanted to fill it with so much rage, even though no one wanted to take me to the stage of the same old wise tales. Everybody looked at me like my nails were grown and my hair was scruffy, and I never showered 'cause I was a coward, you know what I mean. I wanted to completely get out of there, but then eventually I did share some words, and they said, you know how to do it, my G. And then they said, completely, you don't have to write it, just be free and let all those demons out that you've been holding on for years, and let those tears run down your face. If you need to do it, go at your own pace. That's what they said, but even though not in those words, you know, I had everyone rocking and dropping their own bars, you know what I mean. Every time it's like I seen some smiles on their faces, and then they had the chase of the place, you know. It's like my mind was trying to rewind, but you know, you need to look forward. You know, it's like the day you get in and the day you get out. All the rest of it is a load of clout, and you know how when you finally get that first snout. Even though everybody says you have to live without, and you know it's a clout, but it's such a precious thing. You know how it is if you have been in. It's like something that make a smile to your face. It's like an interlude, even though you wanna be rude to, even though it's nothing new, 'cause there ain't nothing new under the sun. So I'm never gonna run, I'm never gonna hide from my past. I might as well say the time is 34 past 2 in the morning, and I'm probably gonna start withdrawing from the medication. I don't care, 'cause I'd rather relate and share this instead of compare this. Yeah, can you bang your own drum and have some fun, even though you don't need a spliff to bun to have a bit of open air on the mic? I know this ain't very nice, but I might as well say that I smoked that spice and I done the rice pudding for so long, you know. But this is rewinding into time. I haven't committed a crime for so long for a fucking line. Oh shit, I said I swear, I don't care. I might as well say that I can say it, even though I spray it. I just wanna go back to the beginning, start it all again. But I might as well say none of this was written with a pen. Straight off the top of my head, you know, brown bread, white bread, rice, pudding, anything that you wanna be going with the same old thing that you're showing. It's like the style is so easy, but my name is Easy, but it's not. I might as well say Matthew William Eves is me, but if you wanna call me anything else, it doesn't matter, my name. So if you stop the record and rewind, you might as well find all my history on the internet, and you'll see that there ain't no respect for my name. I had some sort of evil fame, you know, that wasn't the pain that wanted to come out on this track. But I might as well say I've subtracted back to the beginning, even though no one is bringing anything out about me that isn't already written down. 'Cause I feel like a bloody clown, trying to entertain anyone that wants to do with the same old thing. Like when a screw looks you in the eyes and they despise what they see when you're breaking down in front of them, you know. It makes your mind feel like you wanna let go but never do it, you know what I mean? It's the screw it, everybody has to go in the end, so don't pretend you'll never get out of the system, you know. That's how everybody has to go, but the life is, I know how it is, even though I've never done it myself. But the life of living is not worth not forgiving, 'cause it's too much living to give up my life. Luckily, fucking old cluttily, I'm all alone on my own. I might as well be answering the phone, 'cause no one is gonna say that they wanna be anywhere else apart from with their self. 'Cause when you're in a single bang up and basic or the segregation unit. I feel like someone just jumped in front of me. It's making my electricity make its clarity. I know that is fucking insanity, but I swear when I just open my eyes, something just flashed in front of me. I might as well say I've clocked on something to a different day. This is a different kind of spray. I feel like something is all around me. It's like electricity has finally possessed me. It's testing me to the limit. I've diminished my own fucking spirit. No more lyrics, no more I'm gonna kill it on the mic. No way, not tonight. I might as well say that I'm not ever gonna promote that trick. You know what I mean? Everybody has to conflict with their own difference. I know that I've been putting this persistence in so long, but I know I'm never gonna smoke a bong ever again. Understand when? I might as well say that this ain't no lyrical miracle. I might as well say that this is just literal. I might as well. There is such a thing as the possessed and ghosts and poltergeists. You know how it is. It's not very nice when you see something you can't explain, because this is the pain that people know that is equal if they've ever seen something that is possessing them, because it has tested me and I'm never going back to the microphone. I think this is gonna be the last words that I'm ever gonna put out on a track, because I'm gonna subtract the same old thing from my life. I'm never gonna slit my wrist with a knife. You know what I mean? I know it's like a dream, but several people have actually witnessed things in the place that I am dwelling at the minute, and I just think I've really seen it. Some sort of ghost, some sort of spirit, I don't know what, but I know I'm losing the plot. The medication that I am on has made me feel like I don't belong on this planet that I really do inhabit, and that is all I'm gonna do.